1. The greatest lie you've ever been sold. Have you ever stood in front of a mirror, looked yourself in the eyes, and repeated, "I am strong, I am confident, I am capable"? Maybe you did it during your ambitious 20s, or perhaps you did it just this morning, and what was the result? Likely nothing changed. The hard truth is that those bathroom mirror affirmations are often just a temporary sedative. We've been conditioned to believe a dangerous lie. You need to believe in yourself first, then you can do it. This lie keeps you paralyzed, waiting for a feeling of readiness that may never arrive. As James Clear writes in Atomic Habits, every action you take is a vote for the person you wish to become. Confidence doesn't come from what you say to yourself. It comes from what you have done for yourself. If you constantly break promises to yourself, promising to wake up early but hitting snooze, promising to work but scrolling through your phone, your brain knows the truth. It knows you aren't a credible witness. You can't lie to your own subconscious. 2. Confidence is an output, not an input. Imagine confidence is like a high-end sports car. You can't expect the car to move if you don't put in the fuel and press the pedal. In the world of personal growth, action is the fuel, and confidence is the roar of the engine after the car is already moving. Most people have it backwards. They wait for the feeling of confidence before they start. Leila Hormozi points out a fundamental paradox. Confidence is the output, result, not the input, requirement. When Leila was 21, she moved to California with absolutely nothing. No job, no money, and most importantly, zero confidence. She wasn't confident because she had no evidence. When she started working at a gym and realized she had to do sales, something she was terrified of, she didn't meditate the fear away. She read 5 books on sales, showed up at 4 a.m., and stayed until 9 p.m. She put in the reps. The confidence only appeared after the first sale was closed. It echoes the words of author Philip Roth. Amateurs sit and wait for inspiration. The rest of us just get up and go to work. Stop waiting for confidence. Go find your reps. 3. Your brain is a judge, not a poet. Why do we feel so much fear when facing something new? Because your brain is designed for survival, not for success. When you stand before a large stage or enter a high-stakes negotiation, your brain scans its archives and asks, "Have we done this before? Is there any evidence we won't die?" If the answer is no, it sends a massive signal of fear to stop you. That is a natural biological defense. Confidence is essentially a form of data. Your brain needs physical evidence to believe you are capable. When you do something difficult and you don't die, your brain makes a note. Okay, this is safe. We can do this again. This is why confidence does not discriminate. It doesn't care where you came from or what you look like. It only cares about the volume of evidence you have stacked up. Aristotle once said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Start collecting data of your wins, no matter how small they are. 4. The art of tiny tweaks. The biggest mistake people make when they lack confidence is trying to take leaps that are too large. If you're terrified of public speaking, don't start by giving a keynote to 1,000 people. You will likely fail, and that failure will become new evidence that reinforces your insecurity. Instead, master the strategy of tiny tweaks. Leila helped her team members who were terrified of speaking by breaking the process down into microscopic steps. Monday, speak for just 60 seconds in a small internal huddle. Tuesday, give a shout out to a colleague in front of the manager. Next week, own a 2-minute segment of the weekly report. Step by step, the brain receives data. I spoke and everyone listened. I am okay. This brings to mind the philosophy of Lao Tzu. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. But the secret is, that step must be small enough that you cannot lose. If you want to lose 50 pounds, don't start by fasting. Start by making your bed every morning and taking a photo of it. When you complete a tiny task, dopamine is released, but more importantly, your trust in keeping your word is fortified. 5. Fear a mile wide but an inch deep. One of the greatest misconceptions about successful people is that they are fearless. The truth, they are terrified. Leila shares that before every major speech, her palms are still sweaty, her heart rate hits 190 beats per minute, and her mouth goes bone dry. The difference is she doesn't try to kill the fear. She chooses to tolerate it. Imagine fear as a loud, annoying friend. Instead of trying to kick them out of the house, just put them in your purse and take them with you to the meeting. Fear is just a physiological reaction. If you stand firm on that stage, after 15 seconds, your heart rate will drop. After 1 minute, your mouth will water again. After 2 minutes, the fear vanishes because your brain realizes you are safe. Fear is a mile wide but only an inch deep. It looks like a massive ocean blocking your path, but the moment you step into it, you realize there is no depth to hold you back. As Theodore Roosevelt said, do what you can with what you have where you are. Don't wait for fear to disappear to act. Act so that fear has no choice but to disappear. 6. Confidence is a muscle, not a certificate. Many people think that once they become confident, they are set for life. They aren't. Confidence is like a muscle. If you don't put it under the pressure of new challenges, it will atrophy. If you stop challenging yourself, if you stop putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, your confidence will wither away. You need a habit that tracks truth, not mood. Your mood changes with the weather, your sleep, or what you ate. But the truth, the data, the completed tasks, the goals hit, never lies. When Leila wanted to lose weight, she didn't rely on the feeling of being thinner. She relied on the data of her daily food tracking. On days she felt terrible about herself, the data showed she had 5 good days and only 2 bad ones. The data overrode the negative narrative her brain was trying to spin. Confidence comes from data, not dopamine. 7. The final covenant. So, how do you become dangerously confident? It begins with becoming a person who keeps their word. Confidence is not the ability to persuade others. It is the ability to persuade yourself that you will do what you said you would do. If you say you will work, work. If you say you will exercise, exercise. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you are building a fortress of evidence that no one can tear down. Unshakable confidence isn't built from loud public victories. It's built from the tiny, invisible things you do when no one is watching and you don't feel like doing them. Don't pray for confidence. Earn it. Don't wait for the feeling. Control the action. Because ultimately, as Ralph Waldo Emerson said, self-trust is the first secret of success. And that secret is in your hands right now through the power of a tiny tweak the moment this video ends. Are you ready to put your fear in your purse and move forward? I'm Clear Money. Stay clear, stay focused, and go build your empire. You just spent the last few minutes learning how to build dangerous confidence. Now, don't let this be another video you watch and forget. That's the old way of thinking. If you're ready to stop trading your life for pennies and start mastering a millionaire money mindset, hit that subscribe button. We release new strategies every week to help you get clear, stay focused, and build your empire. Your first tiny tweak starts right now. Leave a comment below with one promise you are going to keep to yourself today. I'll be reading and replying to as many as I can. I'm Clear Money. I'll see you in the next one.